Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Is it cold and gloomy your way too?
It's a little windy, but it's not too cold.
Hi, Marty.
Hello.
Unmute. We can't hear you.
Hi.
There you
Hi.
Can you hear me? I guess I was muted, sorry.
go. Yes. That was my little.
Hi, Pam, welcome. You're muted.
Sorry.
Clear. Sorry.
I am gonna run and get my earphones. Sorry, guys.
Let's see.
Hello.
I am.
Hi. I am.
We're still waiting for directors Sheris, Watt, and Deppie.
Chris is out today. I just saw an email from him that he got a cortisone shot and his back really hurts. I don't know, honey, I'm in the meeting. Ready for a start.
Yeah, I've give another couple minutes and I've texted Director Sheris Watt to see if she's signing on. Hello. And was the email you received sent only to you or was it sent to others? Because I do not have an email from Director Debbie.
It was sent to both of us actually at 4:58. So I was already on here.
Okay,
I
Yeah,
just went and looked and I saw it.
thank
it's
you.
quite recent.
Okay, thank you. So good evening, everyone. It is 5:04 p.m. I am President Sylvia Hassai of the Kensington Police Protection and Community Services District Board, and I'm welcoming you to a special meeting of the KPPCSD Board. I'll go ahead and have the clerk call the roll with the notation that Director Deppie has just informed us that he will be unable to attend this evening.
Director Deppie is absent. Director Logan? Director Logan, you're on mute.
Here.
Thank you. Vice President Natoli?
Here.
Thank you. Director Sheris Watt
Here.
and President Hassai.
Here. Okay, so I will call for public comment on items that are on the agenda. I guess this is an unusual. Usually we offer for comment not on the agenda. I see that we have members of the public in attendance. And is there anybody who wishes to make a comment at this time? Okay, we do not have anyone wishing to comment. So I'll let General Manager introduce this item and our guest this evening.
Good evening, members of the board and members of the public. This agenda item that's before you is to discuss salary and total compensation for permanent general manager recruitment. As you may recall, in the past, your recruiter for the district was CPSHR, and will continue to be the recruiter for the new recruitment. This time, the lead recruiter will be Pam Derby, who is here in attendance with us this evening. And I asked Pam just to come and have, just sort of start the conversation with the board to discuss kind of trends in the market in compensation for general managers and special districts in preparation for the full recruitment. In addition, I just wanted to also mention that next week at 6 o'clock will be a special board meeting. It'll be a workshop that'll be focused on the 7-year financial forecasting model, which will include some modeling in that as well to see how things might be different than they've been in the past. So anyways, so this is just really the beginning of a conversation. There's no action or anything like that this evening being asked of the board. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Pam to start a discussion and give a presentation, brief presentation.
Good evening. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm Pam Derby. I manage the executive recruitment function at CPSHR, and am looking forward to assisting you. I know that the situation has been tough, and I know that Ms. Brown has been very helpful to you, but is moving on to this next new project, which I know she's looking forward to, but we want to put you on a good footing. I know that we had some difficulties in helping Mr. Lindsay, and I have worked with Mr. Lindsay on different projects on and off for the last few years. And I know that it presents how the position has been structured in the past has presented some issues in being able to attract quality individuals. I think that you were very fortunate that Ms. Brown was available to be, I'm getting, am I frozen? I'm getting connection is unstable. My
Yep.
apologies. But obviously, you know, she is able to go on to a city manager role. And that's one of the things that we see in these positions is that oftentimes people that are, can be general managers in CSD are also oftentimes looking at city manager roles or in county roles. And so I think that this probably, if you move this to being a full-time position, and I know that you're getting the presentation on your budget next week, I do think that you need to look at this as full-time and hopefully above the 175 range, I think. And consider doing some type of compensation, deferred compensation to some type of a retirement plan to be competitive. And I realize that that sounds like a big number for the size of your budget, but the reality is that if you want to be competitive and it doesn't really matter the size of the district or the size of the budget, you still need to have someone who is capable of running the district and running the employees. And so, you know, city managers in Contra Costa County, I've done Clayton, I just finished Hercules. You know, city managers are at 225 and above. And so if you're in the 175 range for the size of the district with full-time and being able to provide some type of a retirement, you know, 10 to 15% in retirement, it will go a long way to us being able to attract some of the quality types of candidates that you're looking for.
Pam, can you put that in an email to us?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to do.
Thank you.
And I can give you some of the comparators. I didn't have the opportunity to do some of the comparisons yet over the last couple of days. I just knew this was coming up in the last day or so. And so we can do, you know, a comparison of 8 to 10 of the districts in the area. There are several smaller districts in Marin that are in the same boat that you are, and give you some of the perks. You know, we'll let you know what the perks are, what the employment agreements look like, and we'll do that for 8 to 10 organizations and get that to you in an email. We should be able to get that to you the first part of next week. So before you have your next meeting on your budget. But I think that that will help you in moving forward and us being able to advertise the job and be able to attract a pool of candidates. I know that you're looking at interim candidates tonight, and we're happy to assist you in doing some reference checks and things if you decide on a candidate. We're happy to do that as well on this interim pool. I know that Ms. Brown has done a great job getting people in, and that I think you're doing 5 interviews this evening. So you've got a good pool of people to look at, but we're happy to help with moving forward. As I said, even with an interim, I think you want to do the reference piece at least, and we can help with that. Maybe the media checks and a background check, because this person is still going to come in and have fiduciary responsibilities, et cetera, even if they're only there for 6 months or so. And so in some of these individuals, I know I have not been employed recently. And so we'd want to assist you with that. But we'll go ahead and put together that salary survey for you that I think will be helpful to you as we move forward.
This is obviously an item for discussion this evening, so we're not taking any action. I
Right.
would like to ask you a little bit about what you just said, that the size of the district or the budget doesn't matter, because I find that a little bit hard to believe that clearly the skill set matters, but a $30 million budget or a $300 million budget or a $3 million budget, I find that hard to believe that it doesn't matter at all. So could you put a little more nuance on what you're talking about there? Because I think that what you
Sure,
said
of
doesn't
course.
really sit well.
Sure, Chair. And I understand. I I don't know that it doesn't matter at all, but it does matter in that if you want to be competitive, say with those districts that are in the 10 to $25 million range, then you're going to need to at least be paying what they are. And so for the 3.5, to say, well, we have a $3.5 to $4 million budget, so we should only be paying $130,000. Well, okay, but you're going to get someone who is, management analysts in the county make $130,000. So that's what your comparators are. I mean, that's the problem, is that if you're looking for someone who has public sector background, I mean, what we can do is go out and look for people. And I'm not quite convinced that your PERS situation, it sounds like the council, PERS, is on board with this, but in our experience, PERS has said that if you are a PERS agency, you have to be a PERS agency across the board now. So, and it, we haven't heard that, it used to be that people had been grandfathered into that, but I have some concerns about that, frankly. But you have to look at it as who you are who you're competing with for individuals to come do this job. If you want someone that brings the skill set to actually be a general manager, problem is if you want to be, at $125,000, we're going to have to try to find someone maybe who's retired from the county and is able to double dip, that type of situation. And I know that Mr. Rojas looked for those types of individuals the last time and had a very difficult time finding those people, because someone who's mid-career and has those skills can make more than that.
Right, that's helpful just to get that kind of, right, just to write that comparison where you provided, a management analyst or at the county level at what salary, that's helpful to know. And we clearly do need a strong skill set because of the fact that we have a police department to manage, as well as, other complex and, issues. So thank you for that. Other directors would like to.
Now I would say that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. I'd like to make sure other directors get a chance to, ask questions, discuss.
Yeah, I have a question, which is, are you saying that we have a CalPERS safety account, but not a CalPERS miscellaneous account? And are you saying that that's now irrelevant? If we have a safety account, it applies to all employees?
You can have, and it can, what has happened with PERS is that when we went under PEPRA, and as I said, it may be that you're one of the very few, very, very few organizations in the state that they're still letting this happen. But most places under PEPRA then said, with your contract, everyone if you have a PERS, whether it's safety or not, you have to be a PERS organization. And so.
Does that apply to part-time employees or just full-time employees?
That depends on your contract with PERS.
Our contract, excuse me if I may interject, our contract with PERS is limited to public safety employees. It does not allow us to include non-public safety employees as members. We actually had a claim from PERS about that when they said that we had improperly reported some hours that should have been excluded because they were not public safety hours, they were administrative hours. This was when we had a combined police chief and general manager position.
So what you said, Ann, just now is that our PERS is limited to public safety.
That's correct.
And it should be, and it's supposed to be.
That's correct. Our contract is still in force. This is what we've been proceeding under for as long as I've been with the district. I'm sure quite a lot longer.
Yeah, and there, just to add on to what Ann's saying, it all has to do with the year 1975, and our contract was done in 1971. In 1975, that was the year that they stopped allowing contract exclusions. So we have a contract exclusion because of the date that the contract was negotiated. So the whole contract would have to be renegotiated with PERS.
Thank you. Are there other directors who wish to ask questions or participate in the discussion? So Pam, we're going to expect to get something through the district from you outlining some comparisons, some ranges of other districts and communities with which we are competing, and what perhaps some of they're either currently offering or may have offered in the recent past, for us to then look at that and think about ways in which we may wish to adjust from where we've been up to now. Okay, does that sound okay with all the directors who are present?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds,
Okay,
Sorry.
that's good.
all right. So if there's nothing more for Pam to present to us and no one else has any other questions or comments, then I guess we can let Pam go. And we're going to be expecting to get some information from you, hopefully even before next week. And then I know that, as General Manager Brown indicated, we will be having a presentation from Andy Heath on our current budget scenario, and then some alternate scenarios. And again, these are all just starting points for the board's discussion. I just remind everyone that until we can come to agreements on some of these points, we aren't going to be able to go out with a recruitment for a full-time GM. And we know that it takes quite some time to get that. So the sooner we can, resolve some of those outstanding things with information from both Pam and Andy, the better for all of us, I hope. So we'll do our best to take in that information, look at some financial information, and we need to provide direction to CPHS, to Pam's firm. I may have gotten those letters wrong. If I did, I apologize. But to CPS, yes, CPS HR Consulting. If we, we need to provide some solid direction related to the recruitment of the general manager in the near future. So that's the goal that we're striving for.
And
Okay.
I would like to set up telephone conversations with each one of you. Since I didn't do the recruitment the last time, I would like to touch base with each one of you to talk about what you're looking for in this individual, so that when I go out looking for those people, I know that I'm looking for the skill set that is important to you. And I think it's important for us to restart that piece of it.
Okay. On a process question, with Marty's imminent departure on August 13th, how I mean, it's a process question that you can work out. Perhaps that can be started if Marty has the ability to do that. If not, it's possible that she can assign other staff, or Pam can reach out directly to the board, or however you guys work that out. I would ask all board members to please do their best to respond to Pam and set up time in a timely manner. And it's a good exercise, because a lot has happened really in the time since our last recruitment, and even since that time, a lot has happened. So I think that's important that we continue to move forward.
Great.
President Hassai, I can, I'll be sure to give the contact information directly to Pam for all 5 of you, and then let her directly reach out and schedule individual meetings with you.
Okay,
So
that sounds good.
I can do that tomorrow.
Okay. Is there anything else that that Anne or other staff wish to contribute at this time before we end our? Yes, Catherine.
I just wanted to point out, I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but so at what Marty's being paid, the hourly rate at a full-time salary, 105 an hour, is a $218,000 base salary. And at 75% time, it's 163,800 base salary.
Mm-hmm.
So just so you know that, so when you're calculating your base salary for this new position, just keep in mind that the hourly rate, you'd multiply it by 2,080 hours if you're looking for a full-time, rate, and then you could just multiply it by whatever percentage of time that position is going to be. So
Okay.
just so you know.
Thank you. So great information for the board to have in mind, because we are currently on a 3/4 time, and we may wish to revisit that. Okay. I have nothing else further. It looks like nobody else and the participants have anything further. So we're going to go ahead and end this discussion. And the board is going to adjourn to a closed session. And we will be, having a closed session, and then I will have to come back on this link, I guess, to report out later on, but it may be quite a few hours. So I wouldn't hold my breath for anything exciting in the public. No, I wouldn't hang on the line if I were you. Okay, so the board will adjourn. Thank you, Pam, for joining
Thanks, Pam.
us.
Thank you.
We look forward to working with you for a successful
in touch.
recruitment.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You as well. Good evening.
And good evening. And thank you again for members of the public who joined us, and we wish you a good evening as well. Bye-bye.